Strange blobs found deep inside the Earth, where no such blobs should exist. Waves that ripple from Earth's center can be used to sense what it's made of and where those materials might be found. A team from Swiss University ETH Zurich and the California Institute of Technology, Caltech, has used these waves to discover chunks of Earth plates in places they really should not be. Earth scientists have been using seismic waves to plot our world's subterranean landscapes for over a century, and like the music that radiates from the nightclub, these seismic signals pass through some materials faster or slower, or even bounce off them entirely. So what we hear from the surface can tell us a lot about what's going on within the Earth. But the pictures we can create from these inner rumblings have been limited by our processing power, with scientists typically relying on few easily identified kinds of waves. For this new study, the team came upon the power of the Giant supercomputer to process data from every kind of earthquake wave our planet utters, enabling them to piece together a far more detailed map of its lower mantle. In doing so, they found what looks very much like the remnants of tectonic plates, huge blobs of rock that are cooler and higher density than the surrounding lower mantle. These fragments of our surface do have the tendency to sink into Earth's mantle when they lose out in the plate-on-plate collision known as subduction, but when this happens, these terrestrial shipwrecks should not end up too far from where they're pushed under. And here, however, the new high-resolution model shows massive plate-like blobs all over the world, far from any of the subduction zones known in recent geological history, beneath the western Pacific Ocean, for instance. Apparently, such zones in the Earth's mantle are much more widespread than previously thought, says Earth scientist Thomas Schouten from ETH Zurich. Schouten thinks that these inexplicable chunks throughout the lower mantle could have a variety of origins, not necessarily tectonic subduction. The waves they use for this model, he says, essentially represent just one property of what lies beneath, that is, the speed at which they travel through Earth. And this may oversimplify the picture, however. We have to calculate the different material parameters that could generate the observed speeds of the different wave types. Especially, we have to dive deeper into the material properties behind the wave speed, Schouten says. It could be either ancient, silica-rich material that has been there since formation of the mantle about 4 billion years ago and has survived despite the convective movements in the mantle, or zones where iron-rich rocks accumulate as a consequence of these mantle movements over billions of years. The shapes detected beneath the Pacific, for instance, could be layers shed from the base of the plate, which close to the surface is much thinner than it should be. Further research will be needed to determine exactly what these chunks are made up of and how they got there. Doubtless, each one has a story of its own to tell. This was published in Nature Scientific Reports, and it's on Science Alert by Jess Cockerill. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.